Du früh, weil du gehst zu einem.
Ja, nice, ungeheben.
Nah, jetzt ist es ungeheben.
Yeah.
By the way,
There's no beginning, there's
by the
no
way, he
end.
doesn't know this. Ellie didn't want me in the podcast. Ellie sends me a message. People are asking me to have you Joel Wohl on. That's
a therapy session right there.
Well, by the way, I never get a chance for therapy. Anytime I'm on a podcast, that's my therapy.
What's your opinion
Not
on
only at
therapy?
podcasts, I also do at our shows. We have Label Schwartz's video company.
Yeah.
And they come and they do like little interviews with our sponsors, with attendees, high level people, and every time they interview us and they do mashups.
Yeah.
And now we have, now it's almost 2 years since we started this, so it's very interesting. But I'm in the middle of an event, right? It's 2:00. I sit down there for 30 minutes. It's therapy.
Wow.
Because let's say 4 weeks before the event, I don't stop. During the event, I don't stop. That's like my 30-minute therapy box. So this for me is therapy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So let me make a little introduction for those who kennen nicht. Ich habe mich ausgehend an eine Sache. Most of my listeners sind auf the hotline, sind auf WhatsApp, like audio, Google Drive, beglandisch of trackable items of
Interesting.
So according to will ich sagen the hotline number, because of the hairs days and the Wolfs wissen wie ze ranzukommen the hotline number is 929-445-9191. So, that's the number. And we can rankommen to the hotline for the alle mensen schicken that messages. Thank you. So the guest is is Joel Wohl. Mensen kennen hem als Joli Wallander.
Keine kennen als Joli Wallander. My cousin is Joli Wallander.
In Jiddisch sogar.
In Jiddisch kennen wir als Moishi.
Mensen kennen hem.
In Jiddisch kennen wir als Moishi. My old friends zeggen Moishi Wallander. My tata was zeggen Moishi.
Moishi Wallander.
Aber ich heiße Joel Moishe.
Joel Moishe.
Right.
Nog de Joel Moishe.
Nog de cijfer, verstaat zich, was dat?
So,
Nog de gasten nog.
So anyway, you guys can see as a echt funny, hilarious guy.
He was funny.
And it's just fun to be around. I actually saw him first on the Latest Talks podcast. So shout out to Penny Raab and Latest Talks. A very interesting podcast about his business journey. Multiple companies who said it gehad. Ich meine vielleicht marketing company at some point.
Was?
The failures, but that's what makes you. That's
failures
what put you
baby.
in wie de bis jetzt.
No, we had a nice. We had some nice things.
Yeah. And he finally landed with doing shows.
By the way, shout out to the audience. We have an audience today. This is great. Okay.
The paid members,
subscribers.
Yeah, but they
subscribers.
the geld kimfen, by the way.
Paid
These are people that subscribe and pay the channel.
They support
jede podcast ze do extra footage, not deleted, wacht delete niet gewoon is. Ze do extra footage.
By the way,
van de podcast ook.
Raffles for paid subscribers to attend.
Nog sterker?
No, to attend
the
live.
Live days, yeah.
Right now we have 3 people sitting here.
Right, gets it $10. So yeah, so jullie did a bunch. Joel did a bunch business zaken, business ventures. He's not afraid. He's very out there, and I do when I see him, I have like a certain respect and also like a certain strive to be in a sense like him. It was a huge LinkedIn.
Okay, we can do it again, guys.
He was a huge.
It's been a great podcast, Ellie. Thank you so much.
He was a huge LinkedIn star. And I think that, in a sense, I might be like the new Joel Wohl on LinkedIn. Because you remember you left the platform for a while, ganze story ook gedaan, but then I took over. Sometimes my introduction can take 3-4 minutes.
It's your show, Ellie.
So, but I just respect him a lot. And now he's doing shows, and shows is an essential part in order to grow business. Side for the businesses and side for the people looking to get into business or looking to get a job. So from the most famous shows like Redeal and Kosher Palooza. Is het door Kosher Palooza daar hier in Kartzen?
Into the tish. Dafke in Yiddish. Ze komt bald. Ik moet schon aangenehm, but met Shem you'll hear soon.
Dort wil ik zeggen, sta ik aan. So speaking of, I want to be there. But anyway, he's doing now major successful shows, and it's a good business to be in, a good industry to be in, and so I feel the mens met zoveel success should share, and it's inspiring to hear how he kept on going despite what he mentioned before, a lot of failing businesses or ideas. So without further ado, welcome Joel, and thank you for giving us some of your time. I know that your family is waiting for you, and it's after a long working day, so thank you for inviting us to your office building.
Thank you, Ellie. I want to say that I never enjoy watching successful people because they were successful.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, you're on a different level. I don't consider myself successful by any stretch of the imagination. I like watching people that are in the journey because kan zich mitgappen.
Yeah.
Join along. Yiddish
Yeah.
is okay, right?
Yeah.
So that's I'm definitely still a work in progress, Ellie.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. And maybe that's what keeps you going. Would you say so?
I actually don't know what keeps me going. I don't
What
know.
taka keeps you going?
What keeps anyone
Let's
going?
think.
Everyone's got their thing. The guy asked me today, this morning on a podcast, how can you do, most people, most companies, again, there are conference companies, the biggest ones have, the biggest conference company in America has about 125, I think about 125 events a year. But that's a huge company, right?
It's a company that attends.
That does conferences. No,
They do 125 events a year.
They have they're a conference company. They buy like Kosher Fest. Kosher Fest was bought out by this company, Emerald. I believe it's Emerald.
We can expect a Kosher Fest.
From who?
A Kosher Fest show.
From where? What do you mean?
So who bought out Kosher Fest?
Oh no! Kosher Fest was bought out already years ago. Yeah. But Nachum Lubinsky was sold out, but he was managing the show for Emerald. I'm just saying they're big, but typically most conferences are once a year, twice a year, 3 times a year, because they're industry people. Let's say they're in real estate, so they have a real estate conference. They're in so healthcare, whatever it is. So for us, we're just branching out in every sector possible, Metz Hashem. And the guy asked me, like, how do you? And I said, it's not admirable. It's not like I wake up and I need to have chaos. Because if you tell me you don't have a phone today and you need to sit at a meeting and plan a new show, I can't do that. I can only do it when I'm getting, it's really right, when I'm getting 40 WhatsApps during this planning, then I can do it. That's what drives me.
Right.
Some people, he was complaining about the blue checks before because to me, I answer every message, not him. Oh yeah, him. Because I answer every message. I'm like, how do you not answer messages? So I need chaos. So I thrive on chaos.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can very much relate.
Yes, everyone's different. It's not like, wow, how do you, I don't know, that's...
Yeah, I try to go sometimes the opposite way of chaos just to see what it feels like, because I also love and relate to chaos.
Like if you don't have any car crashes,
yeah.
Like how does that feel like?
Right, and sometimes the best happens without the chaos as well.
Yes.
How do you calm yourself down? Do you have a point in the day where you shut your phone? Like I shut my phone at 7 o'clock. Nobody can reach me, and that's my alone time.
Right.
So
I don't know if my wife.
I know
will
you do
watch
the
this or
daf,
not.
and you probably don't. And that time you don't.
Well, sometimes I'll post statuses about the daf while I'm doing the daf, but.
Okay, but what's your downtime?
I don't really have a downtime.
It's work.
It's not that it's work. It's action. It's like I have other things that I do that's not work related, right? It's action. It's nonstop action. I try to shut my phone when I come home, depending where I'm working, whatever, for an hour or so. Mm-hmm. My wife might disagree, but I try to do it most days. During supper, let's say, I'm never going to sit with a phone by supper time, unless like this craziness going on and there's a show that night or that day, the next day. But otherwise, and it's hard. It's like you're running a bakery. Matzah Pesach. The guy that runs a bakery, he's not sitting home with his family. The guy's got to go make dough, right? We all got to go make dough.
Yeah.
But this business happens to be very chaotic, and just because you're busy, doesn't always mean you're making money.
Right.
So for the family, it's definitely hard.
Yeah.
You always busy?
Right.
Dude, where's the millions? You know what I'm saying?
I also found it, Joel, that I think that online, on status, on social media, you come off as a very powerful person. Your profile is a very serious picture, and you're just powerful. When you say something, you say it all out, like very strongly opinionated. Sometimes it can seem like you're a very powerful person, but in real life, you're very humble. You're very just regular between people. My question is, how when do you put on which character? And by the way, I want to add that I've met you many times in Shiel on Shabbos and Yontov by Rabbi Rosen, and you are the most humble, fun guy. Like everybody there loves you, and you come.
Podcast is finished. This is great. Thank you.
But it's true. Like I know you from a different perspective than most of the world. Most of the world, they just see you on social media, at the shows, whatever. But I know you a little bit more. I've seen you more personally, and I
think it's very simple. It's not like I.
Is this it, or is it characters within you?
Okay, number one, when you're on social media, it's very easy to type out a post. You, by the way, sometimes you meet people, like, they're very aggressive in responses, whatever. You meet them, they're like total live in your mother's basement weirdos, right? And you think they're like very strong, very opinionated people. It's very easy to type out, especially if you're passionate about something.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Like, you can just type or even do a video on your phone. You're just talking to your phone.
Right.
And like in marketing, you probably tell people, just whip out your phone and like you talk to your phone. If 1,000 people will see it, great. But right now, it's easy to talk to your phone. It's harder to talk to 7 people in this room than to talk to your phone. So I think part of it is I have opinions. I can be a very quiet person. I still be very opinionated. So I can post stuff that makes me look like I'm a tough guy and I'm very opinionated. But in person, like I'm not here to yell at you. I can yell at 100 people on status, or or whatever. But if I'm one-on-one, I'm gonna respect you and I respect your opinion. That's why people sometimes will combat me and challenge me, and I'm like, what do you want? I just posted my opinion. Post yours. I'm not here to challenge you. So it also, I think I've tempered. I used to be more combative, and I used to be more, I think I found a lot more peace in my life in recent years. So I've also worked very, very hard, and I think that humbles you. I don't mean humble like I'm a humble guy. It puts you in your place to understand what you focus on, what should excite you, what shouldn't excite you, what to let go.
Yeah. It's interesting. I gave you 2 options and you chose a third. I asked you if you're just a character that can switch characters, or you do it intentionally, and your answer, the last answer was that you became a different kind of person. You were maybe once a little bit more aggressive, and now you became more humble and just easier. Was that a business decision?
Not necessarily. I'm a lion. It's really... No comment.
What does a lion look like in business?
Okay. So I read a lot about Elon Musk because he, and I don't change my behavior to reflect his, but I found like a lot of things I can relate to. Being like, people call it a micromanager, or being like a crazy boss, or some like really bad words. Yeah. You're just crazy passionate about the project. Like, I want to build that spaceship, and it's a joke, obviously, because what do I do compared to? Like, I'm just comparing, like, on a personality way that I can relate to someone that's a hurricane, that's furious. Like, on some days I come in, and like I announce, I posted on my status, if you're blocking me today, like you're a speed bump, I'm gonna ride over you, because. I want to get to a point. I want to accomplish something, and sometimes it feels like the whole world is holding you back. Mm-hmm. When you have a vision, right, you know what the outcome is. You see the outcome. So if I see the outcome, but you're blocking me, so it's not personal. So I've had partnerships and different things where people really did not understand me, and they took it personally. No matter how many times you say it's not personal, this is not about me and you. Shabbos afternoon, come over to my house.
Now it makes sense. Yeah.
So it's just like I'm passionate about certain things, and I think also the more capable you feel that you can actually get stuff done, you don't really care what other people say. You just don't care.
We have a tremendous audience of very young people, and that's why I keep my podcast like PG-13.
Oh, okay.
No, really. I have the hotline, and I get messages of literally kids. So I decided I'm going to go that route. And I'm curious, a 13, 14-year-old that's wondering, like, can I ever go into business? What's your opinion? Is business meant for everybody? Should they dream about a business?
It's not about, I don't think it's about business versus work. I think it's about passion. And some people's passion is just to make money. And those are the people that become really wealthy. Because it's not about real estate. The guy's buying 13,000 units. The guy loves money. So he knows how to calculate what a gallon of paint is going to cost him because he loves money. Mm-hmm. So if you love money, you make money.
Right. But Elon Musk doesn't love money.
No, absolutely not. He's passion driven. I'm not saying you don't make money the other way, but so there's one, right? Those are the kids that are selling candy in school. So
I was selling the cookies.
You were?
I was.
So either you are or you don't, or you're not. I wasn't. It wasn't, making money was not my passion. So if you're 13 years old or 15 years old, you're either selling cookies or not. You're not going to become the kid that sells cookies. You're just not. Yeah. It's like either you're good with your hands and you're destroying your electronic. I don't know what they use today. Like when I was a kid, it was remote control cars, all right? Yeah. You know, or you're sitting and coding. If you're 13 years old and your father has a computer and you're figuring out how to code, that's your passion. That's who you are. Wow. Now you're going to make money if you use it the right way, right? This guy figured out how to do whatever he does. We know what he does, and he does it, and he's very passionate about what he does, and he makes sure that he delivers very well.
Smiley Brody floors. Yeah.
So what I would say, though, is very important. You have to lean in. Well, and by the way, this is whether you're 15 or you're 40. You got to lean into your passion, and you got to figure out how to monetize it, because it's great to have a hobby, but if you're not making money, you're going to be miserable.
Right. So what was it for you, by the way? You're saying you weren't passionate about money. What pushed you at a younger age into entrepreneurship, into figuring out businesses, and then becoming someone that works with hundreds of businesses a year, like meaning with the shows and all of that? Why couldn't you just be like everybody else, a job or a simple business? Like
well, I was. I mean, I started in the show business. This conference business, right? Full time 4 years ago. Actually, full time 2 years ago.
Wow! Right.
At 42, baby. So, wow. So I've done lots of different things. I think one of the problems I had, because I wasn't good with my hands, I didn't like making money. I'm not a numbers guy. I struggled all my life. Like what am I doing? Finding my thing. I did different things. And then it hit me a bunch of years ago with Grant Cardone. Yeah. Really turned me on. Like when I was like 30, 32, he woke me up. Like he lit the pilot. Since that day, since day one, the first book I read, or whatever it was, this is like, 15 years ago, he turned me on. Wow. You have an obligation to be successful. It's a duty.
I can so relate, because I'm a huge fan of Grant Cardone, and I'll tell you why. Because I feel like Grant Cardone, he speaks the Hasidic language.
Exactly, tachlis.
Tachlis, and he scares you. He scares you. You know what scares means? Oh, yeah. It's like, what will happen if you don't come to the show? Oh, yeah. What will happen if we don't do business? He is very aggressive. I feel like us Hasidim, we need a little bit. You have to scare me. This is our mamaluschen. Exactly. Läuf nicht in gases. You'll kill yourself. You'll get sick. Our arm.
You're very successful. You have patch.
Exactly.
You have patch. You get the workbook. And that day, wasn't a day, obviously a day, a week, month. My whole mind shifted. Like, what can we do with this? What can we do with that? And that's when I started thinking also very big. For 10 years, until I actually got somewhere. I had a Amazon advertising company. Yep. Dude, I was dealing with Amazon, with Walmart, and I'm not talking about dealing with, we and then when we did the shows, we had their top people. I was invited to them, they were invited to us. I learned to aim for the top, and you can get there. It's not hard to try to aim for the top. Right. It's the same effort.
I'm very curious, because I'm sure a lot of people that can remember you and know you for the Amazon, and I feel like this can be a separate video with a separate thumbnail. What happened to Amazon? I think by us,
China.
Yidden,
no, really.
By us, Yidden, you were the #1 Amazon guy. That was how you started with shows. Yeah. You made Amazon networking events for Yiddish sellers on Amazon. What happened to Amazon that everybody is now talking about it with a whole different perspective? Even I have many clients that are on Amazon, like Skinny Coated or Carbolicious, and they tell me about the percentages that Amazon takes. Like it's a whole, something over there shifted.
Oh, it's simple. It's China.
Okay, so what do you mean China?
China means that when you went out and you branded and marketed and spent time building a brand of vases.
Okay.
And the factory that sold it to you went and sold it direct, and Amazon, and they got more favorable terms because of the government, because of postage, and because of this and that.
Who, Amazon gets more favorable?
No, the China factories, the China sellers.
Yeah.
So if you had to sell it for $20, they figured out how to sell it for 10, and that was it. Business is over. That's what happened.
But I thought it's Amazon
that was always a struggle, but
Amazon always took 30 to 35%.
Amazon was always a struggle, but everyone was in the same playing field. So if me and you both sold this, we both had to deal with the same thing. But if a Chinese seller comes in and he's paying half the price,
right,
then obviously he wins.
And they couldn't do this when you started?
Look, it wasn't that many years ago, so it was a challenge. But you had enough tools to combat it, and then it just took over. The Chinese sellers just took over the market, and that was it.
Is it possible to still make money on Amazon now?
In the traditional way that people were doing it then,
what was that
probably not.
traditional way?
You were able to go and say, I'm going to create a glass vase brand, and I'm going to sell, $1 million a month of it, with a lot of work, a lot of effort, but that was you could have had that goal. I remember a client coming and saying he's going to sell, I don't know, his plan was to sell, I think $250,000 a month with these kitchen knives, and he was selling like a few thousand a month. And I said, how? And he did it. So you were able to do certain things. And Amazon themselves like killed the business as well, because they then will take the vase without China. Just
and
Amazon
they
themselves.
made it.
They did it. So it was very challenging.
Oh, wow. Do they do that now? They have a lot of projects that they own?
I really don't know what they're doing now. We stopped doing Amazon events. For the first 2 years of the, so we're doing events for 4 years now. The first 2 years was just Amazon events. Almost for about 2 years, it was just Amazon events. So, we felt the market, and in the meantime, I saw my clients. I sold my company to a larger Amazon advertising company, and that was it. Like I felt it. I just felt it. You got to feel. You got to know, right?
Yeah.
You can't get stuck.
Right.
Yeah. We can cut this whole Amazon thing.
Why? I actually like it. I think it's very important. I'm fascinated by it. Yeah, I think it's very interesting.
Yeah, to me it's like
let's get into the shows right now. So, what put you into making shows? I mean, it went straight from the Amazon to arranging shows 1, 2. Now you're doing 12 shows a year or more.
Yeah.
So what did you see in shows that told you, okay, this is unique, let me make a business model and actually execute it?
Right. So most successful people will tell you that they never really came up with a plan to make it.
One show at a time.
It just evolved into okay, this is real. We did have the vision from the very first show. We saw and I have a video of myself saying the words, what this business is about at our first Amazon show 4 years ago.
Okay.
Because I felt it. It's about the people. It's about bringing people together, and if you bring successful people together,
things will happen.
Success is going to happen.
Correct.
So that's the basic ingredient, and we were really good at what we did. There was the #1 industry show year after year, and immediately we basically competed with them, like immediately, where we were a very strong competition, and that told us that we're very good at this.
Yeah.
So we should do this, take this to other industries, and we immediately went to the from industries, real estate, healthcare. And as we were planning healthcare, home care came up, and we actually ended up doing home care first, which is a whole different business. In the beginning, though, we thought that you can't do more than a couple of industries. Yeah, you got to learn the industry, you got to learn the people.
Right.
But as you accelerate, things start compounding. Like you're not doing 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2; it equals 4 because things are moving at a pace and this crossover, and this real estate guy also owns whatever, and right.
So you have the connection with him already, and he already
correct.
likes you as a client. Wow.
Correct. So it starts moving, and then we got all kinds of requests from everyone from Torah Masora to just different partners like Srilly with the design show, nonprofit show, and we did a thing with charity, and then we did with behavioral health, and so there's all these different things just start coming to where now. So it was like very chaotic for a couple of years. I mean, we're pushing stuff out, we're jumping at every opportunity. We grabbed some opportunities, like the Trump opportunity. We just grabbed it. We just took that. We just took.
Yep.
Like we took it.
It's pretty cool.
And what it was like we're just going to blow stuff up and then see where it lands.
Right.
This is, by the way, another thing that Elon Musk does very successfully is he will just blow stuff up, right? So the metal or the aluminum for a rocket ship, right, needs to be able to sustain, like NASA will tell you, 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit, let's say.
Yeah.
Just who says? Like maybe it's 3,000, right? Or maybe it's 6,000,
wow.
Whatever it is, right? Let's blow it up. Okay, although that blew up, okay. So that's a bad thing. Okay, let's go back, right? So you got to really push things to the absolute max, to where your team is screaming, we can't do this. We can't do another event. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And we've had that. We had that, right? And we said, no, we're doing this.
We're doing it.
And we're going to make it happen. And at some point, you say, oh, you know what? You were right about that. We shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Let's pull that one back, okay? But let's focus on this.
Right.
So that's the formula that we use. Like blow as much stuff up as possible, and then pull back and see what do we need to.
Right. Which one are we doing again? Which one are we going
what's
forward?
The max? Like what's the max that we can push it?
Right. How was it to meet President Trump? And how I can imagine it's a very long conversation, but in a few minutes, how was it to meet him, and how was it to arrange an event that involves I think at that time it was President. I think at that time it was former President Trump, now President Trump.
Yeah. So very interesting, because I had a podcast this morning.
Okay.
And we discussed the concept that I've learned. It was a whole different conversation. Actually, it was very, very interesting. Maybe I'll just dump that link in here. And then
I will. I will leave the link to his other podcast.
No, it's fine.
I will. I'm happy to promote him.
It's a whole different
level.
But
that person's gonna wonder why is he getting so many clicks.
We went a little, probably. We went a little deeper into taking yourself out of what you do.
Okay.
In other words, in the beginning, it was we did a big Amazon show, and we had Damon John, right?
Yeah.
Come and do a fireside chat. Yeah. And who's going to do the chat with him? And me. What do you mean? Getting myself a nice suit, and we sat.
Wow.
And then while we're on the thing, while we're in the conversation, I'm just like literally pulling my phone out. Just like, why? Because it was all about me. Again, I wasn't just like a little selfish boy, but in a sense, you're doing these shows and you're getting excited about the attention.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot of attention.
Yeah.
So when you get what I said today was earlier is that you get hit. We got hit plenty. This didn't work out. That didn't work out, and you start. It humbles you. In other words, and you start saying you can go either way, right? Some people just don't. I would say most people don't. They just I'm the best, and then and I'm not changing. How many businesses you speak to businesses, right? How many businesses you give advice? And what if you did it this way? And they're like, oh, if it's not broken, don't fix it, right? Not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah.
The biggest lie that anyone's ever told. Fix it every single day, improve it every day. It is broken.
Yeah.
You think it's not broken, but it's very broken. If your customer tells you it's broken, right?
Yeah.
So, but if you can really learn and try to pivot and try to, then you take yourself less and less because it's not your opinion that counts.
Yeah.
So we started realizing, like David John, like I had my sparkly jacket and schmoozing with him. No one was interested in what I had to say. I'm a nobody. They wanted to hear him, right? And they did. I didn't. I was just asking questions. It wasn't so bad. I'm just saying it wasn't about me. The show wasn't about me being on stage. It was about Amazon sellers meeting Amazon aggregators. These are people that are buying up Amazon businesses. We did a show with Ishay Rebo 2 years ago at a home care show. He came and did this concert, and like I had a request for a song, and I'm like, now it's 2 years later, but it's like, it's not about my requests. Like this is for the people.
Yeah.
So the more that you invest in improving the experience for your customers, the less you are involved in the picture.
Right. Wow.
And then you literally start like thinking less. I started something for a joke at our shows. Right, we're wearing Powwow, right?
Yeah.
You know, the walkie-talkie, and we're busy, and people come over. Oh, yeah. I'm the. I'm one of the partners, CEO. So I started as a joke, as a reverse humble brag, saying, yeah, I do the coffee here. No, I'm kidding, right? And I did it more, and I did it more. And these days, I would say a lot of people know who I am. They come to the show, they know who I am. Some people don't. And I say, I work here. And they say, good, okay. What do you do? Coffee, this, that. And I just walk away. And you know what happens? You start getting very comfortable with that.
Wow.
Like, I don't care. All I care about is there's 1,000 people here and they're doing multi-million-dollar deals. I don't care. Like, I don't fit into this picture. And I spend my time running around, making sure that things are done right, picking up garbage that the staff doesn't see.
Wow.
And that changes your entire way of thinking.
Right. How did you get in touch with Damon John, which is a shark on Shark Tank and a
You can get in touch with anyone. You can get in touch with anyone.
Was he actually like helpful in the show? Like,
so my passion that I discovered is people. So if I'm passionate about someone, like if you're passionate about selling real estate, you're going to sell real estate.
Yeah.
We know this. Anybody, right?
Yeah.
Anybody that's this kid grew up poor in Lakewood. He wants to sell nursing homes because he saw his rich friend's father do. Dude, the guy sells a lot of nursing homes these days, right?
First he brokered the deal.
I'm not talking about anyone specifically. I'm just saying,
example. Yeah.
It's what you're passionate about, what you want to do, you'll achieve. So it's not hard to reach people, and I think the other thing is never ever rely on anyone else. Never.
Wow.
No one is going to help you.
Wow.
Everyone says, oh, everyone helps you. No one helps you, Ellie. No one is there to help you.
But why? Why is that?
Not because they're not helpful. You're a helpful person. I'm also a helpful person.
This whole podcast, half of it is to help me. The other half is to help others. What do you mean?
Okay, so if I asked you, Ellie, can you come every Wednesday and set up my podcast for me? You're like, no, I can give you some advice about what cameras to buy.
Okay.
So in other words, you have to do the work. Yeah, you get some guidance here and there, but you got to do the work yourself.
Right, that's what you mean. Take responsibility.
You must own it. Someone asked me, can you hook me up with this guy? No, not hooking you up with anyone. Go and get it done.
Yeah,
and you can get it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah. Was it fun meeting Trump?
Oh, so wait. This is the answer. So I was wearing the Powwow, the red Powwow, the Trump edition hat. So it is red and gold Powwow.
Okay.
And we did it in such a flashy way that we wanted Trump to get excited about it. So we'll have a good video of him, signing it. And it said Trump 47 on the side.
Okay.
So what are you looking at? You'll watch that other podcast. You'll see that. So now the entire event prep was 8 days. It was Sunday to Sunday.
Okay.
Almost including Shabbos, okay? Not, but Friday till the Zman in deal, and then Motzei Shabbos. Yeah, so it was very intense. And Trump's whatever you call advance. What do you mean? What do you mean you can't be here Saturday 4 o'clock? Like they never heard of such a thing.
Yeah.
Like no.
Were you considering being there for Shabbos and deal?
No, not at all.
Because it will be work. I mean, it would have been work.
Yeah.
Right, wow.
It was very intense. And what happened was, what started out Sunday morning as like a nice joke, oh, maybe I get involved somehow.
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon, where Joel, you probably own this thing.
Yeah.
Like Monday, here's a list
of everything
of what you need to do just for AV, which typically we work with Premier Events. They're amazing. We brought in Reset to do the AV. They came in all in to help to make it happen. The list of details that had to be provided, it was insane. I mean, Premier Events was there as well. It was insane, just for lighting and audiovisual stuff. So everything else, and then everything is requirements. And if we built a thing for Trump, the design has to be approved, and the there's a bulletproof thing going in front. We need to get the right color velvet that's going to match, and we have to have the right flag, and the flag has to be 6 feet, and it's got to have the thing on top, and then you have to have spreaders, like little things that you never really worry about at events. My point is, by the time the event arrived, it wasn't about Trump anymore. It was about execution. And then we were dealing with sponsors also, because we brought on, $100,000, $200,000 people that are going to come and meet Trump. And selling tickets. Yeah, well, the tickets were, I don't know, $2,500, yeah. So it quickly, the thing about, it's going to be Trump and he's going to sign my cap, that went out of it. And now we're dealing with Secret Service. Now we're stressing out about the shoreline and about the divider, and that no one you can't see from the next property, and the whole thought process changes. So now it's not about me, and it's not about Trump, it's about execution. So at the end of the day, I didn't meet Trump, because when we're doing the hour photo shoots, we're running nonstop, and then there's the hour of where he did a speech. No, before the speech, he did a private meeting. That's when I'm busy. Where one billionaire is calling me that the other billionaire can't get in, even though he was on the guest list, and Secret Service is blocking, and we need you here right now. There wasn't a second, and then when Trump gets on stage, we need to manage all the songs and the voice and the sound and the light and the cameras and the food has to be there, and the staff, and then the glass broke, and then security. So, and then he's off, and then we have to change that and do this and do that, and then he's out. There's no time and there's no interest at that point. Because it's just about executing this well and hopefully getting opportunities, other opportunities. And that was, so this whole tangent is very simple, that the more you focus on the outcome, the less you're involved, and you have to learn how to take your personality and the good and the bad and just put it aside and focus on the objective, whatever the objective is, right? Yeah.
Wow. Back to more shows and stuff.
I don't stop. I talk too much. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're perfect. It's very, very interesting so far. With the shows, I'm curious. I feel like there are many industries where I hear people say, like, the community doesn't get it. I feel like when it comes to networking events, from the moment I was introduced to these type of events, I feel like there is tremendous interest in the events, both for people to show up as an exhibitor or as an attendee. And I'm curious if that's the kind of feedback that you're getting. Are people genuinely interested? And one more quick break. I feel like a lot of people here are not going to know even what a networking event means. So if you can quickly explain, what is the meaning of a networking event?
Okay, so we don't do networking events. Networking events are 6 to 7 p.m. where 100 people get in a room and everyone talks to each other. And there's drinks and passings, and someone tries to get on a mic and no one listens and everyone leaves.
And the point is...
That's a networking event.
And the point is to meet 100 people in the room, which can sometimes take you a month or 2 months.
Those people don't come to networking events. So then you have conferences and trade shows, which they're interchangeable, but trade shows are when you meet... trade shows are when you have booths like the big Meadowlands or Atlantic City shows, or where you have 200 booths, right? And typically you don't have many speakers. If you do, it's breakouts and small stages. Small rooms, and then you have like really in-depth of retreat things where it's in California, it's in Arizona, it's in Florida. It's 3 days. There's golf. There's keynote speeches. There's dinners. There's meetings one-on-one. What we've done is we've taken the trade show model and the retreat model, and we combined it where we create a very elevated trade show, where it's beautiful in design. It is the food and drink. It's all top notch. We have a couple of different tiers. Some are more exclusive. Some are less in terms of the decor and the food and the venue. We did Legacy Castle right now for Redeal.
Right.
Legacy Castle is the most exclusive wedding venue in New Jersey, I guess.
Yeah.
New York, New Jersey. It's absolutely gorgeous because that event demanded that. But the biggest thing is the people. So traditionally in our community, there's this show, that show, and most of the events you can just buy a ticket and go in, right? Enter Powwow, and we say, where's the value? The value is the right people. So if we're going to do a nursing home show, it's nursing home owners, operators, executives in nursing homes. Nobody else. You can't. It's not open to the public,
Yep.
right? Our next event is for store owners. It's not fancy. It's store owners. You either own a store or you don't, right? If you don't, go away. So, and what happens is the exhibitors.
Meaning for the attendees.
Yes, the exhibitors are people that service them.
Yep.
Right. So they provide point of sale systems. They provide inventory
Packaging,
systems.
stickers,
Packaging, marketing, media companies, and they come to a show, and it's not about how many people. It might be 300 people. It might be 1,000 people. It's not 5,000 people because you're never going to get 5,000.
Qualified
Exactly.
in the industry people.
So we vet every person that comes in, and what happens is the exhibitors are in love because here's everyone they're looking for is right here in this room.
Yep.
The attendees are excited because first of all they're meeting interesting new services and products. They're learning from top industry leaders. You always want to have the top guys giving sessions, panels, speeches, and they're meeting, like you said, qualified people of their level that do similar things to them. So whether it's our .org show for nonprofit leaders, whether it's the design show for designers and architects, we did a beauty show for women's businesses for hair and cosmetics. If you're not in that business, you don't belong there. And by default, what happens is the brands are excited. They're ready to invest. They're ready to invest more, and people are ready to come, return. And you're building something real versus, it's a show that, anyone can come and it's people networking. That's the beauty of a real focused, qualified group of people.
I would say that's the beauty of a powwow show.
Exactly.
And I second that. I know many of the shows that you make, and I've been to many of the shows that you make, and it is very specific. And when we were talking about potentially doing something where we're media at the show, I was thinking I can absolutely trust Powwow that if something were to be discussed, it would be a smooth transition. I think that your track record of, I don't know, by now 20, 30 shows would shows how good you are at organizing these things, from the food to the exhibitors to the vetting and so on.
And this is not an infomercial for our events. This applies to any business. Like you really have to, okay, what does your customer want? You sell burgers? Why are you selling chicken sandwiches? Like, maybe chicken sandwiches, but why are you selling whatever? Chulent, Thursday night? Don't. You sell burgers. Because the more focused you are at providing what your customer really wants and what they expect from you, it's all about expectations too.
Yeah.
What does your customer expect you to do for them? Do that. That's it, and do it really, really well until there's no such thing as competition.
Yeah.
Nobody can replace that.
Right. From all these shows and meeting so many incredible people, I want you to tell us about one specific person that you met. You don't have to say their name, but that you learned a valuable lesson.
So it's an hour and a half or whatever, and I didn't mention that I am just a small part of this company.
Yeah.
Yehuda Suskind is my partner and a sales whiz. He's the one that makes sure that we get all those booths filled, all those sponsors in, and we deliver to them. Max Schlesinger does everything. Max is incredible. Mm-hmm. And those are two amazing people that I've met over the last few years. The three of us together are a team. So anything I've said till now applies to the three of us.
Yeah, I understood that.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I didn't say it earlier.
What's something that you took out from, like you met an interesting person at a show and you learned an interesting thing and it was just fascinating to you?
I mean, it's interesting you say that.
Or I would say an interesting business that you were surprised by someone's business model.
You know what? I does surprise me that the most boring businesses are the most successful ones.
Meaning?
Like insurance, for example, right?
Yeah.
You can make a lot of money selling insurance.
And you can just be an agent technically,
yeah.
right? Why is insurance such a big money?
I've never looked into it, but apparently it's a big business. There are like really boring businesses that are very, very powerful and very strong and obviously have a lot of money,
right?
Based on our dealings with them.
Yeah, I also heard. First of all, what do you tell people that reject prices of the shows? And why is it that we buy tickets so late sometimes? I don't know on your shows if it works that way because you're so vetted and stuff, but somehow people are always last minute.
No, people still are last minute. People are still last minute. That's how we are. We have so much going on in our lives, right?
We want to make sure that day
you don't even know where you're going to be, right? So if I have to go to a show, I'm also only booking the night before. Mm-hmm. So we actually we try to shut down like 12 hours before, 14 hours before. If we're lucky, 24 hours before we shut down our website because we vet every attendee. At 8 p.m. the night of the show, that's it. I'm going to sleep. So
and the day of the show, you can't buy a ticket at the door?
Only from one trained person. One person at the door. There can be 15 people at the door. You want to buy a ticket, you're going to have to stand in line and talk to this guy. And this guy is going to check your LinkedIn. He's going to check he's going to check it out.
It's not worth it. Book early, basically.
Yeah.
What do you tell people that say price rejection? Which I can sometimes relate because sometimes these shows are expensive. And even though I acknowledge that the cost of making a show is expensive, and it's quality in food and speakers and whatever, and good relationships that can bring you millions down the line, but people are still feeling like they might be gambling their money.
Yeah, price is decided by the customer. Mm-hmm. It's not decided by us. Mm-hmm. In other words, we'll only get what we can get, right?
Yeah.
If you have the number one marketing agency and your name is Gary V, right, you're going to charge $250,000 for a session and for your basic marketing package.
Right. Yeah.
Who decided that? Gary V? He's greedy? No. He used to charge, $250.
Right.
He got better and better and better, and his customers wanted it more and more. And obviously, there's only so much you can do.
Right.
It's like a lawyer that charges $1,000 an hour. He didn't set that price.
Right. It's the people that make him busy enough that he can charge that price. What's the average ticket price? What is it, like 250 to 500 or 100?
It's not about ticket.
How do you
focus
decide?
is on the sponsors. Our focus is not on the tickets. Many times tickets are free for qualified people. So it's not always about the ticket. I mean, the average, it depends. We have 2-tier shows. So one tier could be $100 average. The other tier can be 600, 700 average. It's the money, the high price where you're getting complaints about is typically on the sponsor side.
Very interesting. I think you're the perfect person to ask this question before we wrap it up. What is the best?
Since you sat down to speak with me.
What's happening. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, help me. It's like a thunderstorm. Hurricane, yeah. I saw it in the news, actually, that's going to be a hurricane.
It's good. In case you thought about going back to the pool and you wanted to rush back,
yeah, exactly.
You have no worries.
Yeah.
Not happening.
I think you're the perfect guy to ask this question.
Yeah.
What's your best piece of advice? And then we're going to go, what's your worst piece of advice that you ever received?
The best piece of advice that I ever received, it took me about 10, 15 years to internalize, was that there's only one of you in this world.
Yeah.
There's only one Ellie Weber. What do you mean? There's this guy, that guy? No. There's only one Ellie Weber.
Yeah.
Exactly with your personality, exactly with your exact capabilities, and that, b'shvili nivru olam.
Yeah.
Is very real. You are the entire world. It's only you that can do exactly what you can do.
Yeah.
Can someone else do exactly what you can do? Nobody. Even an identical twin can't exact. So when you internalize that, you can be, the best. You can be the best you at what you do.
And the worst piece of advice you ever received?
You're doing too much. You're never gonna achieve. You do too much.
Yeah, I have like a lot of questions to still ask you, but I said we're gonna try to keep it to 40 minutes. And how long are we recording for? 50 minutes. So unless we do rapid fire, let's do some rapid fire. You know what rapid fire is? Can you stick to it? Because many people that tell me let's do rapid. Laser Ungar, last podcast. Kennst Laser?
No.
He was like, he's one of the biggest food wholesalers. He's very into food. I said, let's do rapid fire. I asked him one question. It took 3 minutes to answer.
Well, I'm into food too. You don't ask me any food-related questions. I'm kidding.
Okay, so here we go. Rapid fire means your answer has to take less than 30 seconds.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so you said you just mentioned you're into food. What do you say to food?
I love food.
What's your favorite food?
Pizza.
Do you cook the pizza or you just buy it?
No, I just like food.
Okay. What's your favorite food to eat at a show?
Pizza.
Really? That's what you have?
No, I'm kidding. My favorite food is burgers. And my favorite food at a show is sliders.
Okay. How do you charge your phone at a show, and how do you make sure you have enough battery?
It used to be harder when I was always about me, selfie videos all day, and these days I don't do so much. So my battery, and I ignore all messages.
People call you. Why do you ignore all messages?
On the day of the show, I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. I see the message coming in. Can I get a ticket still free? 9 o'clock at night. I'm so sorry. I just saw your message.
Yeah, exactly. It saves you a lot of headache. What do you think of Tom's River? Because I know you recently moved. I mean, not so recently.
No, I've been here. I've been here for 6-7 years.
Yeah.
I love Tom's River.
You like the way it's developing and whatever, like.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. What happened here, LinkedIn?
They threw me off. Yeah. I got kicked off before Trump, before Musk. I got in trouble before anyone else.
Yeah. What you said made a comment or something?
I made a lot of comments.
Was it Israel related or Jewish?
A lot of it was Jewish related.
Did it bother you when you saw, like, when you lost that powerful tool?
Oh, definitely. Of course, it hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
For like an hour, and then I started fighting back.
But you're back now, and it's going pretty well. You're getting a nice amount of views, I think.
I do what I have to do. I feel like I got to be out there. I gotta market my business, but otherwise,
Are you a strong fan of social media?
Not for myself, but for you, I think it's great.
Thank you. WhatsApp status?
I love WhatsApp status. Not watching them, just creating them. And also I get all my news. I have 2 news channels that I follow, and that's my news and 10-second snippets, pictures, quick videos, and that's how I keep updated.
When did you start doing the duff every day?
4 years ago.
You still do it?
Yeah. Every day. I haven't missed a day.
Very nice. What you enjoy to learn or whatever? Like, ich heb bijvoorbeeld zitten alleen ken ich touch.
Right. So, first of all, there's a million tools out there.
Right.
Okay, so there's no excuses.
Second
of all, it gives you, and I'm not going to preach to you because I started when I was 40 years old.
Yeah.
Right? So, like the guys that shishka and shul, like, I'll get there too when I'll be 50, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm not judging. I think it brings consistency into your life. It brought me exercise. It brought me better food habits. It brought me a lot of different things because it gives you consistency.
We're starting now the summer season. Would you do like a Pirkei Oversheet?
No.
Why not?
Because I feel, by the way, I started different shiurim that I gave to WhatsApp groups or whatever. And then I realized that I am really not worthy.
Okay. I really wanted to do a Pirkei Oversheet on my channel. I'm looking for a chavrisa. Like every Thursday night, 5-10 minutes of Pirkei Ovos. Maybe?
Maybe I'll be a guest like one time.
Okay. Your WhatsApp status, I see you sometimes raising thousands of dollars. When did that begin? Do you see a thrill in it? Do you just love helping people?
Rapid fire, and the question alone is, you understand? I got pulled into it. It's a little bit of an addiction, and it's unavoidable. Once you start raising for people.
Yeah, but how do you know who to raise for? Like everybody can tell you tomorrow I need 10 grand.
I don't answer everyone. You know, this is
Okay.
not for
So
everyone.
if
This is for people in the community. This is for people in my community that, you know, I've built connections, relationships, work. You know, it could be a guy that I worked with 5 years ago at a show or whatever it was, and now he lost his job. I know his situation. I'm not here to be, you know,
Right.
God's, you know,
Policeman.
tzedakah gaba. I try to do what I can do, and we used to raise very small money. Now we're raising a little bit more money. Maybe one day we'll raise a lot of money. It's irrelevant. I try to focus every day on what I can accomplish today, and that's it. I'm not worried about.
Right. People are saying now a lot that the economy is tough and whatever. What's your take on it?
It's tough. My take is that you got to build. I would answer. Probably Grant would answer this. You know, you got to make your own economy.
100%.
Make your own economy. Don't worry about the economy.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay, I think we gained a lot, and I always say if there's enough questions and comments and views, then we can maybe do a part 2 if Joel's in.
Ellie, whatever I can do to help you, right?
Thank you. Tell us please about all the shows coming up, Joel, so that people that
This is
want to
rapid
buy
fire.
tickets.
July 15th for retailers, August 20th for contractors, September 16th for nursing home owners, November 13th for home care agency owners. Then we go into December, designers and architects. January, ABA agencies. January 6th. January 7th, we've got behavioral health and addiction rehab centers. February, we're in Home Care National, Miami. March, .org for nonprofit organizations. April, Femme Beauty. May, we might do Femme Fashion. Secret, hush, hush. I just gave it away.
And June
Real Estate. And then what's the, and then we're back. Yeah, then and we'll see what happens. We'll see
and
what
maybe
happens
a
next.
Palooza or
Palooza. So Palooza is being worked on by our partners, by Fleischick's Magazine and Man Sales. We're taking a step back. We're partners in the company, but we are overloaded, and it's a very intensive and also very industry. It's a laborious
There's so
show.
much. It sounds like a show like you can work a year.
You
just
can work
on
a year
that
on it,
show.
exactly. And it involves a lot of food passion, a lot of branding passion. So it's like, you guys are on it for this year. We'll see what happens. So we took a little bit of a step back.
Right.
It looks like it might happen November.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. Okay, guys, tickets are all available on powwowevents.com. Event.
Tickets
powwowevent.com.
are not available for most, but you can check out. You'll see the videos.
So what, you get to register or something, and then you come back?
You could buy a ticket, but if you don't belong there, you're going to get refunded.
Refunded. Okay.
Again, none of this, zero of what I said is from any kind of like business ego that we have, Yehuda, Mac, myself.
Yeah, it's just for
none
the
of it.
favor of the
Tachlis,
exhibitor and the
for the
attendee.
exhibitor, exactly.
Yeah, I totally get it, and I know it up
I tell
front
people,
and personal.
I would also not, I happen to work here, but otherwise I also wouldn't be allowed into the show.
Yeah.
And I also can't afford these tickets. You're right, it's very high.
Yeah.
But this is, it's the business. It's nothing personal.
Right. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, if people want to get in touch and talk to somebody regarding a booth or a show, should we
on
put
the
your
website.
WhatsApp or should we put someone's WhatsApp? People love WhatsApping people today. You're going to let me know. We're going to put it in the description.
Yeah, I'll
You're going to send me a message.
Sure, I'll do it.
If not, you can follow Joel Wohl on LinkedIn. Your name is missing a letter or something, no? It's
No.
Joel Wohl, full?
Just my cousin spelled it HL and I spell it LH.
Yeah, so, okay. Anyway, thank you everybody for listening and being here today. It's very much appreciated. Thank you to the people that randomly put in super likes of $100, $180. I very much appreciate that kind of love. Yeah, it keeps the podcast going. And thank you to all the people that are subscribed to the membership, which is $10 a month to see extra content from each episode, including from this episode right now. And the moment you sign up for the membership, $10 a month, not only are you supporting the channel, but you're also going to see extra footage from every podcast that we put out, as well as you get priority replies I will reply to your comment when you leave a comment.
Do you add them to your personal WhatsApp also?
Yes, so the
super
personal
subscribers.
link to my personal WhatsApp. I get almost every day. I get about 10 to 15 new people.
Oh, this is for anyone. This is for anyone. Anyone can join
Anyone
your
can WhatsApp me,
wow.
yeah,
It's
and
amazing.
be in touch with me.
That's an opportunity.
And the hurricane just hit,
wow.
by the way.
Wow.
How are we getting out?
You know, we
My
have
car's only
redeal
there.
umbrellas. You want to have
You
a nice?
do?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting a real deal umbrella. But guys, thank you. And if you can subscribe, it means a lot. And share it with a friend that can enjoy. Leave a like, leave a comment, helps the algorithm. And follow Joe Wohl, follow Powwow.
Don't follow me too
one more
closely,
thing.
yeah?
If they reach out, who are they reaching out to regarding a booth and stuff? To him?
On the website.
On the website, can we maken a booth?
With alles umdaten.
Okay. Should they...
And I shared the WhatsApp, the business WhatsApp with you.
Should they mention Weber? Do they get... I always say mention Weber and
mention
get a special
Weber.
service.
You'll
or
get a
something.
hug.
Yeah, like special service. When you mention Weber...
Definitely. We'll
it will
send
be
you a lot
like,
of love.
Daarvoor zou ik maken een discount.
Right,
I always
no,
say,
hearts.
mention Weber
We'll send you hearts.
and get a something. Yeah. Yeah, and some alles
Oh, by the way, you know my inspiration for the tzedukah?
No.
A lot of it is Michul and his brother Bernie. A lot of it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Michul used to give a lot of tzedakah.
Love you all, Michul. Yeah.
Exactly. A cruise ship, day year? So it's ganzen gestapt, the cruise ships, no? Would you do a cruise ship event?
No.
Not worth it. Oh,
No,
so
you
you went out
can't.
to do a real estate of a soft Wasser or something,
No,
no?
it was. No
Some
more.
gestapt?
We took it onto dry land.
Oh, you were in charge?
No. Our partners on real estate, they had a boat. We had a real estate show. We said, why don't we do this together? And then we did it on a beach. And the next year we brought it all the way inland.
Yeah, next to the
the
waterfall. Next to the waterfall. Fountain.
Okay, fine.
Very nice.
Great speaking to you guys.
Thank you.
Ellie, I hope it was beneficial to you.
Very.
Maybe to anyone else.
It was definitely beneficial. People are constantly asking me, bring on... Ja,
wat je mag geld?
Yeah.
Where's my cut?
Someone called me and asked me to price a job, and I used the line you said, yeah, the customers is who make the price. I don't make it.
It's true. It's 100% true. All right,
Yes.
guys.
Thank
This has
you.
been fun.
It's been real. Thank you.